Hey everybody, welcome back. Looking forward to this Mindset and Motivation Monday topic of the week. It's a big one. We're going to be talking about the 8 rules for a better life. These 8 rules are amazing. They really date back thousands of years to the Stoic-based teaching. I got the idea from the Daily Stoic, Ryan Holiday, his website, a lot of his thoughts that he's taken from Marcus Aurelius and many other individuals who've really taught on the basics of Stoic-based philosophy. If you're not familiar, well, we're going to go through 8 of them today, and you will know and you will have the cornerstone for really a Stoic-based belief in life. I like to look at it. I will say this, that I'm not 100% in with a lot of what Ryan does teach, although I am bought in to much of it. It is absolutely how I look at life and really removing the overall wild highs and wild lows that I used to have. You know, it's like this, crazy ship in the middle of the ocean, and these huge waves just bring you up in the highest of highs and then drop you down to the lowest of lows. I try to stay out of that now. I try to stay a little bit more balanced. These 8 rules, I think, will help you do the same. All right, the first one is this, one of my favorites, one thing that I've absolutely had to live by in my life, especially with a busy family, maintaining multiple health-based businesses, etc. Like just trying to get the most out of life is that you have to win the morning, right? You have to own the morning. So that's how you win it. First, you own it. Now, how do you own it? Well, the biggest thing is this, and I'll give you a quote by Marcus Aurelius here. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work. As a human being, I'm going to do what I was born for. Or, is this what I was created for? To huddle under the blankets and stay warm. It's kind of there, as you'll start to see, Stoicism is no nonsense. It's brass tacks. And I do like that. Not everybody likes that. I totally get it. But that is the truth. And it's not always easy, but were you really meant to just hit the snooze button over and over, right? Is it that you don't have that thing that drives you out of bed and moving towards it? And some people don't. So that's why I talk about what is your big why? What is your passion? What moves you? What excites you? What wants to get you up and out of bed in the morning? And if you don't have that thing, I would start to look towards that. Meditate on it, contemplate on it. What is it that you're craving and missing in your life? And then don't think, I've made the mistake before, don't think your whole day has to revolve around that. 30 minutes, 60 minutes of learning a language, writing your book, starting a podcast, moonlighting as a health coach, whatever it is. You can work towards that 30 to 60 minutes a day. That will get you out of bed. That will excite you because there's now a growth-based process to life. So first, own the morning. The only way you own the morning is you get out of bed 30 minutes, 60 minutes before the rest of the world needs you. So that's your own time, right? To exercise, to write, to meditate, to think, to prep, to study, whatever it is. That's your time. That's how you own the morning. You get up early and you schedule it. So doesn't mean that we should sacrifice sleep, right? My whole thing is about health. Of course, the de-stress protocol, one of those S's is sleep, or I should say the R is for rest and sleep. So what we want to do is get to bed a little bit earlier, rise a little bit earlier. You're going to feel so much better after doing that for 3 weeks. Doesn't happen overnight, but 3 weeks. All right. Number 2 is this. Only focus on what's in your control. This is one of my favorite things because it's one of the only ways that I'm not able to be super stressed out and sleep easily at night. I've got the very good fortune of being able to work with and help over 100,000 people or so a year, right? And so that comes with a little bit of stress, just a little bit, right? There's all sorts of things that can go wrong, and sometimes things do go wrong, and that's just kind of the way that it is. But what you have to know is that you're always going to do your best in order to solve it, and you can only solve what's in your control. So if there's things going on in the environment and politics and the stock market and everything else, you can only control what's in your control. I can't worry about things that are outside of my control, and I also can't worry about things that may happen in the future, but aren't necessarily going to happen. So I can prepare, but I don't have to always worry. So focus on what's in your control. You have so much better outcomes when you do what you're able to do rather than stop, do nothing, take no action, and simply worry. Right? I heard a good quote the other day, but basically, worry is a prayer for what you don't want to have happen. And so stop with the worry. You can think about it. Don't put a lot of emotion into it. Number 3 is this. Don't suffer imagined troubles. This one's amazing. This is by Seneca. I read this many years ago. It was a truth for me. That's for sure. We suffer more from imagination than from reality. So most of the things that we are anxious and worried about are out there in the future. We don't know that they're going to happen. We're worried about our kids' schools, our kids' futures, our own health, our parents' health, everything we could worry about. I might lose my job. I might not get a new job, like whatever it is, we're worried about it, right? And so here's the thing. Most of those things never come to fruition as well. So what are we doing? We're living a negative reality based on what could happen, not necessarily what's happened in the moment. Sometimes the moments that we're living in are beautiful and amazing, but we're stuck in the future worrying about it, or we're contemplating past decisions that are no longer in the now. So we're depressed about the past, we're anxious about the future, it leaves us in a worried state. Let's try to focus on the now. Number 4 is this: see failure and success as the same. I'm still not there yet on this. I want to work on it. But here's the thing. I've gotten better at failure. That's the truth. When I fail at something, I'm going to put that in air quotes, I don't actually think that I failed. Like, that's the mindset that I have. I'm like, yeah, it didn't work out, but I'm not giving up, right? So it's like an exercise plan, a body transformation plan, an energy plan, whatever plan that you're trying to create. If it didn't work out the first time, I'm guaranteeing you learn something from it, right? So if you can pinpoint the mistake you made, you won't make that again. Just write it down. Don't do that, right? And so that's how I look at it. That's literally the variable process we teach with health. We narrow it down through at-home lab testing. There's probably like 4 to 6 different things that you need to work on, not a million. You work with an Equal Life coach or integrative health practitioner. You tweak those things. This food looked okay, but actually it's not. Okay, we need to remove that. We need to move this here. Okay, we need to add a little bit more dosage here of this supplement. Take this away. Oh, it turns out we're not ready for that high level of exercise yet. Okay, we're going to ramp that back down a little bit. It's just variables. You're learning from it. It's who you are right now in this season. We can change that, right? So, there is no failure. There honestly isn't. If it's meaningful enough to you, you won't give up. So you didn't fail. You learned a way now that won't work. And that means there's only so many ways that won't work until you find out the ways that will. That's it. And again, you're not a static being, so don't think that it may not change in a few months or years from now. We change, right? Okay. So then the success, though, is one that sometimes I like to think that I don't have a huge ego, but we all do, to a degree. But when things are going well, it is true that I don't necessarily like go overboard, but I like to celebrate a little bit. Like, I like to be like, oh, my team worked so hard for this. We really wanted it. We worked for it. Or with a client, like, oh, they worked, they tried all the different variables. They made it happen. I love building them up. I love that success. But, if you want to go by Marcus Aurelius, it's just to accept it without arrogance, to let it go with indifference. And it's basically like, yeah, that was nice. Oh, okay, that's not so bad. Like, it's more of an even. That's one of the things that I don't necessarily always agree with the Stoics, is that I don't want to get overly low or overly high, but I do want to experience this human experience that we're all living in, right? I want to experience the highs. I'll experience some of the lows as well. I want to feel the experience of a human being. That's really what I'm looking at. But I do agree, not too high, because if you're up high, you're going to crash low. Not too low. It's a negative place. It's a scary place to be, especially if you dwell there. All right, number 5, we've got 8 total. Number 5 is just do one thing every day. This is a great one. Zeno, I think, is how you pronounce this philosopher's name. I don't know, but apologies if it's incorrect. Well-being is attained by little and little, and nevertheless is no little thing itself. What does that mean, right? It's like translating the Dead Sea Scrolls here. Well, what it means is this, is that if you want to become great at anything and enjoy anything, there's no one big thing you do in order to get there. Even when you look at a degree, it's 4 years. Okay, it's 4 years. But really what it is like, 40, 50 classes that you took? And those are all about 3 hours per week, right? So it's like, oh, okay, attend classes, understand the material, pass the exams. You do that, it accumulates over and over and over. Oh, you have a degree, right? And so it's all these little things that we do. You want to lose weight? Same thing. You want to lose 100 pounds? Okay, can't lose 100 pounds tomorrow. Probably not even this month. That would be a bad idea, right? But what could you do? Well, you could easily lose 10 this month, 10 next month, 10 the following. You could do that, right? Okay. So if we follow that plan little by little, but the very last part is the best thing. Nevertheless, is no little thing itself. So you still have to take those small actions every day in order to win and get that big goal at the end. So it is no little thing. You still have to take that small action every day. The exercise, the nutrition, not going overboard on your cheat meals, all of those things, right? So it is no little thing. So with small actions, I have a podcast on this called, I've got a bunch of podcasts on this, The One Thing, all these small steps, et cetera. But it really is. It matters that you're doing it every single day and continually moving forward, that 1% better. That is what it's all about. But you need to stay disciplined and you need to stay motivated. So you need to have that big why. Number 6 is this: make beautiful choices. This is a really nice one. So if your choices are beautiful, so too will you be. Really what it means is this, is that I've never seen anyone be thoroughly unhappy that is focused on making this world a better place. And that's easy to say, but it's not easy to even understand or do. So the best way that I've seen this is really try to do something to make someone, one person, not the whole world, a little bit happier. And usually this is a service of some type. So this can literally be a personal trainer walking a client through a great workout, and at the same time, energizing them and brightening their day. It's an amazing thing. A massage therapist helping a client with pain. A teacher telling a student that even if they didn't do that well, I see how hard you worked. You did amazing today. You were stuck on this and I saw you work through it. I'm congratulations, all of those things. Those are beautiful choices, right? Those are really nice things. So when you're feeling down, give someone a compliment in some way, shape, or form, or provide a service. One of the best things that you can do. If everybody did that, it's not easy. It'd be a pretty amazing place to live, right? All right, number 7 is this: be tough on yourself and understanding to others. So this means this: focus on you, right? So one of my favorite quotes is, I'll take care of me for you if you'll take care of you for me. It's the best way to live in relationships. It really is. And that's by Jim Rohn. And why that's so great is that I can't control your happiness. I also can't control your actions. Not as an adult. That doesn't make any sense, right? I just can't. And that would be controlling. So if I want the best for you though, and I want you to be happy, I have to make sure that I don't ask anything really of you. Any dependencies or anything that you do for me is out of love and appreciation, and I'm very grateful for that. But I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to be solid where I am. And I need you to do the same. But I can't control, right? So I'm going to be strict with me and understanding of you. Now, why? Well, because I need to be understanding. And the reason is that everybody has an off day. Everybody is part of this human condition, which is the ebbs and flows and highs and lows of life that we spoke about, right? So now this comes in. I'll take care of me for you and you'll take care of you for me. But at the same time, when I'm down, you'll be helpful with me and understanding. And when you're down, I'm taking care of me. So I'll be helpful and understanding with you. Hopefully we're not down at the same time, but even if we are, what do? Pick ourselves back up, be understanding of the other individual, and they can be trying to help us. It's a hard one to contemplate, but when you do, it's absolutely remarkable because it changes everything. Everybody's looking to make everybody else happy, but nobody else can make anybody else happy because happiness is an inside job. That's the bottom line. So the only way that you can be happy for someone else is to take care of you. That's why sometimes being a little selfish, again in air quotes, is one of the most selfless things you can do. Because a happy person brightens everybody else's day. They really do. All right, the last one is this: Momento Mori or Mori. This is a big mistake to think we look forward to death. Most of death is already gone. Whatever time has passed is owned by death. Okay, that's by Seneca. Kind of gloomy, right? And that's why this Stoic-based philosophy is sometimes difficult to approach until we can kind of translate it. Well, what does this mean? It's this, is that there's two things. One is that we often dwell about the past choices, past mistakes, what we wish we would have done. And then we look into the future and we say, well, now I'm 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old, 80 years old, and I just have so little time left that it's too bad I didn't make those decisions when I was younger, or I don't have the energy when I was younger, or I'm not able to do this as when I was younger. So we're dwelling on the choices we wish that we made in the past. And then we're also saying there's not enough time in this life. And we're stuck in this spot of not enjoying the moment, and then also essentially making an excuse of why we can't live right now. If you're 40, 50, 60 plus years old right now, most people living right now absolutely can live to 95, 100 years old. They really can. I mean, they honestly can, especially people listening to this show. We're going to continue to detail how you can live a long, healthy life. So just assume you're going to live to 100 years old. Okay. Well, now if you're 70, how long do you have? 30 years. 30 years is a long time, right? Sure, you wish you could have done things a little differently in the past. We all wish that that was the case. But truthfully, we wouldn't be able to be where we are right now with the wherewithal and knowledge and experience of having gone through that. And that human experience is going to allow us to teach others, teach our children, grandchildren, the mistakes we made so that they may not make those same mistakes. Or if you're a practitioner in any field, you can then share those with others. That's what reading books is all about. Listening to podcasts, you get to listen to the mistakes others have made so that hopefully you don't need to make those as well. And you can look into the future and say, oh, that's how that person was able to achieve the health, the relationships, the body transformation, the career, the spirituality that you search for. So instead of dwelling in the past or worrying about the future, begin to work in the absolute now, the ever non-changing now. Every time we wake up, it's always today. And I know that seems very meta, but the only thing that we can work on ever is today. So what do we need to do? Move back through our 8 rules for a better life, with the first one being own the morning. Most important thing that you can do is wake up with a plan. Hopefully today's show was helpful. Thank you so much for tuning into the show as always. And if it was helpful, do feel free to share the show with anyone you believe could serve. Today's show notes are at stephencabral.com/3363. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.